HodgeRods Speed Shoppe, we get the shop truck running and driving way better. What's good, everybody? So we are back. We are in the shop and we are going to be working on the square body Suburban, or square body. It is a 1990 R1500, so it's not quite as old as what we typically like our vehicles around here in this shop anyway. But I got it in a trade deal. It's a pretty good truck. It's all new sheet metal on the front. I think it had been wrecked and it had had some questionable repairs done to it and a bunch of people playing with it, rattle canning it and stuff like that. And we tried to fix all that with this El Cheapo paint job and just kind of roughed it up. There's a lot of dents and stuff like that, but there's zero rust, and I mean zero. And that's pretty crazy for around here, even for a 90. But anyway, it is a 90, so it's a small block Chevy 350 with a 700 R4, but it's a TBI. So it's got a computer deal throttle body style injectors with 2 or 3 injectors. And I have been messing around with this thing for months, ever since we got the paint fixed, or sort of fixed, and we got the AC going on it. We have been trying to get it so that it will run. And when I say it runs bad, it will barely drive the speed limit. It is terrible. And even in this big boat, a small block Chevy should be able to get up and go. So we are going to commit the ultimate sin and throw that EFI in the trash and put a carburetor on it. So some people might hate this idea, but this is the easiest option. It makes the other option is to put an LS in it, and we don't want to spend that kind of money on this truck. So let's dig into it. We'll take a quick walk around and show you everything that we're going to throw in the trash. All right, so here we are. This is the front end it has on it. If you saw the first video that we put out with this unit, then you might have seen this truck in the background. But the front end, this is from like the old body style grill. This is like a transitional period. And it did actually have the big plastic electric mirrors that, you know, were up here. So we took those off, put the manual mirrors back on it just so it'll look mo better. But this is her. The gray is actually the original color, and then we added the blue for the two-tone because the whole interior is that kind of light blue. We got an exhaust system put on it a while back. We did that here, just a 3-inch, bunch of mandrel bends. We welded it up. It's a pretty cool truck though. Got the barn doors, which is probably the best feature. Mr. Charles loves getting in there. Come on, buddy, get in there. Good job. So, all right, you stay in there for a while. I'm just joking. Come on. We're not going for a ride, pal. Oh, there you go. See, like I said, it's got like dent, huge dents. Giant scrape. Who knows what happened there, but a bunch of dents there, a bunch of stuff there. And that was a new fender, so I don't know what happened there. But dent. It would have been easy to paint this, and honestly, if it would have been, you know, like 20 or 30 years older, we probably would have painted it. But for this hooptie, we just wanted a cool cruiser. Let's check out the inside real quick. Look at those plush seats. I mean, it's not even worn down on the driver's side. It really is a nice unit. And everything sort of works. You can tell it sat up for a long time. I think it was wrecked probably like 20 years ago. And then a few different people tried to fix it until we ended up with it. And we've still only sort of fixed it, but it's a nice car. And if we could get it running good, we could get the AC fixed correct, because we had already fixed that, but it's already broken again. So damn AC is pretty important around here. But the good thing about having an old beater like this is you could do stuff like this, and it's totally fine. All right, so here she is under the hood. It's actually pretty clean and complete, which is why I tried to make it work for so long. And new AC components, we didn't mess with that. But we did put, whenever we did the paint and body, and also part of trying to make it run better, we put headers on it that I got off of an old blown up engine we had sitting around. Plug wires, plugs, the boots, all of that came off of an old parts motor, because the manifolds that were here, one of them had a crack, the gaskets were blown out of it, and these were free. So like, I mean, this was literally cheaper than going by gaskets for the stock manifolds. So we did that. We put a whole exhaust system on it. We got a new O2 sensor on it, and for the first 20 seconds you'd swear it was fixed, and then as soon as you get on the road, oops, no it's not. So we did put new brakes on it too. I'm seeing the hose down there, forgot about that. It does have new brakes all the way around. But anyway, let's get this air cleaner off. So this is the problem. These are your two injectors. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3. Those are your two injectors. They are working, they're spitting, they're pulsating at the same. I mean, I have no idea what's wrong with this thing. This is a bunch of junk that I don't even care what it's for. We had capped off the EGR, we had unplugged it, we had tried a million different things. We changed a bunch of sensors. We put the old sensors back on. It's trash. That's not an actual distributor. I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure it still functions sort of the same, but it's not gonna work with our carb setup. So we're gonna get that junk off of there. I don't know if our cruise control deal is gonna work. I don't know, there's a lot of questions, but we're gonna figure them out together. It's gonna be fine. We're not the first people to do this, and honestly, we're definitely not gonna be the last. So this is what we got. This is aluminum intake, Edelbrock deal. This came off of, look, let's go look at the parts motor. This is where we got the headers from. Now the intake and the distributor and the plug wires, the actual spark plugs. And I wish I could put these valve covers on there, but it's not the right bolt pattern deal. But anyway, that's where we got this intake from. It needs to be cleaned up. This thing only has like 20 miles on it, I swear. But I don't know why it's so gross. It's got the same amount of miles as this. So this is all fresh. This is MSD. Stay there. This is all fresh and clean. I know this is good. Street Fire. That adds at least 200 horsepower. At least. Especially if you put the sticker on the glass. This is a carb spacer. We are going with a Brawler 650. It's the same carb we have on my truck. Oh man, this is... All right, hold on. It helps if the box is not upside down. So, get it out of there. Look at that, man. That is so much prettier than what is under that hood over there. Look at that thing. This is electric choke, mechanical secondaries, just a basic, easy peasy carburetor. And it's the exact same one, so like jet kits are gonna be the same one as that's on my truck. So it's just gonna be easier world for me. But with that and this, I know from previous experience, it hits here. So we got a carb spacer, which these look cooler anyway. And they help. It's a phenolic one, so it helps with gas boiling and all that BS. One of these dudes. So this will be voila, and then voila. You know what? Let's look at it. All right, guys, you cannot tell me that this right here, this spaghetti wiring, tube of death, horsepower robbing, whatever, looks better than this right there. Check that thing out. I didn't even clean the intake yet. I mean, we're all shined up. Look at that thing. Boy, that's gonna make at least 450, maybe 600 on the bottle. I can't wait. That is gonna look so much better than this junk right here. Because whenever you, I mean, we're gonna get rid of, get out of here. We're gonna get rid of the intake manifold, the throttle body, yes. But we're also getting rid of all of this, all of that, all of that. Maybe not that, but all of this. And as much as that as possible. So all we need is a 12 volt, or a couple 12 volts. And we are ready to rock. I think that's one of the things. It doesn't have provisions for a manual fuel pump anyway. So this is what we had to do. So to use the pump that we already changed, it's already brand spanking new. It's an in-tank too, so it'll probably last forever. We got a fuel regulator. It's a Jegs brand. It is a who knows what PSI to PSI. It's gonna work for what we need though. We got some gauges, one too many it looks like. And I don't know what happened with the fittings, but I sure hope I don't need all of these things. I don't remember if it was a variety pack or what. I'm thinking I need like 4 fittings, not 24. So anyway, I got a little bit of hose too. I should have some left over from the LS swap on this car anyway. So anyway, I'm about to get rigged up, get my tools out, get my tool cart rigged up, and we are gonna start gutting this pig because I don't wanna look at it anymore and I don't wanna think about it anymore. I just want it done. I wonder if this might have been part of our problem. Just going to pull this out, and I don't even know what this is for, but it's sandwiched in there. All right, that has us broke free. Now let's get this turd off of here once and for all. Uh-oh. Check it out. All right. Oopsies. Okay, just stay here, flashlight. Look at this grot. It's actually really, maybe this came off of the, oh, that's like a flaky. What is that? Oh yeah. We had a pretty serious exhaust leak, I believe. Anyway, so aside from that nasty grot right there, it's pretty clean. Everything's nice and tight. Awesome. Other than cleaning it up, that's about it. Unless we want to paint these valve covers, which I think we might do. We might paint the valve covers and the intake that silver gray color, but not rough it up like the rest of the car. Leave it all brand spanking. So we got the intake off. I got some of the wires moved out the way, labeled up and stuff. We have to cut the fuel lines so that we can attach some AN fittings and some rubber hose or braided hose. And we have to mount our fuel regulator, which now that I'm looking at it, I might not have enough braided hose, but we'll figure it out. It's nasty. Either way, those valve covers are so gross. No matter how nice our work looks in the middle, that is going to ruin it. So I need to take them off to at least clean them, and I might as well just paint them. I got some leftover paint. I've already got a paint booth rigged up, a little half-ass paint booth. rigged up from a different project. So, and it might not last forever because it's not engine paint or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. It'll get baked on enough times. So I'm gonna yank these valve covers off, and then we'll take a look at what's underneath them, see how nasty it is under there. All right, we got the bolts out. This one is bigger, so I'm guessing somebody actually has been in here. I assume this crusty thing, nobody had ever messed with it. Hell yeah, that's not too bad at all under there. This thing has been kicking my butt all day. Ah! Finally. All right. Let me just hold my spaghetti out of the way. Oh no. Can't get it off without the... Oh, I just dusted it right in there. Perfect. Check it. All the flakes is just from the valve cover. I bonked it and it all fell in there. Nice and clean. Yep, she makes, you know, 120, 130 horsepower on a good day. If it's cool out. It's so much better without all that crap in there. Once all that wiring is gone and some of that wiring is gone, and I'll pretty up the vacuum lines and get rid of some of the hard lines, because that's just ridiculous, it's going to be a whole unit. So we'll get those cleaned up, get this thing cleaned up, maybe throw some tape on a couple little spots. Obviously we got to tape off made in the USA, you know, we got to leave that. I'm debating, I think I'm going to leave these in, and then when I need them, I'm going to take them out and crack the paint. And then after I do that, I won't care about scratching it, so I'm just going to slam it back together. Let's see how many is on the old intake. Where is that thing at? All right. We got our one temp shawls, which we're going to use this thermostat on it, I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I will use that thermostat housing. I could use this one. Let's see under here and see what all that mess was that we had. So yeah, this is, let's see, it would have been this side where all that grossness was on the intake. Look. Ugh. Maybe, what is that, tape? Is that Teflon tape? Ooh, maybe that was EGR grot. That's where the EGR was mounted. That is what that is. So that was just a bunch of exhaust buildup in there. Let's see if we can pick some out and it looks the same. I'm gonna feel so much better. Dude, it is the same. Wow, we got a brand new small block Chevy. Heck yeah. I bet that was one of our problems. One of the 250. We're gonna pop these rubbers out. Probably never find a replacement, and the ones we do find are gonna be loosey-goosey and leak, because these are gonna break removing them. But oh well, they're gonna look pretty. All right, so we got everything cleaned up. We got we got the rubber stuff yanked off. We got the grommets out. They broke, of course. We called that. We got everything taped up, cleaned, medium. I mean, these are just some gross stock stamped steel valve covers, but I mean, it's gonna be okay. If they start chipping, we'll put some better valve covers on it anyway. This, I think, is gonna take the paint pretty well because it's just bare cast aluminum. After we cleaned it, we brought it over there and we blew it all off with air. Look, that's what's left of the grommets pieces. So we blew it off with the air, and then we Scotch-Brited it with like dry red Scotch-Brite, and then we blew it off again. So, and then waxing grease remover. Now we are gonna use, this is the leftover paint from when we painted this Suburban. So we got some of that. We're gonna mix it up, throw it in our Harbor Freight spray gun, and we're set. I think we're ready to go. But anyway, we're about to spray it. We're gonna do one light coat, make sure everything is good to go. And then we'll come back with a slightly heavier coat. So that's enough of me yapping. Let's get to spraying. Looking all right, not too bad. Those valve covers are gross. Alrighty, it's been about 3 minutes, so that's obviously close enough to the like 2-hour recoat time. So we're gonna call it good. I probably should have hung these different. Maybe sideways with 2 things, because it's swaying like I did this. Oh well, we'll know for next time. All right, so we got them sprayed, second coat. We have enough paint to do 3 coats, so I'm gonna just bring you guys in and let y'all check it out. The intake's coming out great. It's sticking to that cast real nice. Of course, it's silver going over gray, so if I miss a spot, not too big of a deal. That's looking good. Distributor hold down, that was orange, also from the parts motor, so we're squirting that silver. These are looking good if you stand about right here. Not too bad. If you get real close, they got all that junk going on. But I mean, I just hit them with Scotch-Brite. I didn't sand them or anything. Anyway, looking pretty good. We're gonna do one more coat, close the doors, and call it a day. Look at this fancy paint booth. And poor G8 hiding back there. What a disaster. This thing, we gotta get an interior on this bad boy. We gotta fix a couple little rust holes in there. Seat cover, gauges, and I don't remember what, oh, and there's a oil leak that we gotta fix also. And then that'll be it for this for now, because there's a new project rolling in, a 37 Chevy 2-door sedan. Cannot wait. And also we still have to finish wiring the Sprint, because I need to drive this ASAP. Right, Mr. Charles? Right, Mr. Charles? Yeah, we got a little more ways to go on this thing. We got to build our other seat brackets here, and then there'll be a center console made out of the same material, and then all of that spaghetti wiring will be mounted inside the center console, along with the switch panel and all that junk. I was literally driving it, but it looked like this. I refused to bring it to the dyno tuning shop like this. And honestly, I don't even know if they would have taken it like this. But Anyway, so we'll get that all going. This is actually what this motor came out of. Had vintage air AC in here. It was, man, living large, having a blast. And the motor blew up as soon as I hit I-10. Heading to cruising the coast, actually. Right when I took the exit to cruising the coast, I got a rod knock. So, anyway. And then this is a mess. I don't want y'all to see that. Don't look at that. That's disgusting. This is what I was talking about earlier. The fuel, you have to have the spacer, or when the carburetor's sitting flat, it'll hit your intake here. So, gotta have that bad boy. Plus, you know, it makes like a bajillion extra horsepower. But this thing's actually a runner. It runs great. I scored these wheels for virtually free. These are like the Dodge 20s Steelies that everybody puts on the old Fords. If I could find some cool looking hubcaps like the dog dish style, poverty cap style, then I'm gonna put these on here. But if I can't, I'm just gonna steal the original wheels back. But I don't know, I wouldn't mind this thing sitting low and being a little ripper because it's fun to drive. If I put a 5-speed trans in it, it would be even more fun to drive. It's dry. I mean, we can basically install it. Not really, it's been like 8 minutes since the first coat. All right, let's do coat number 3. Hopefully it's I don't know, we might have to do 4 coats. We got some extra paint. Hopefully it's just 3 coats because I'm ready to clean the gun. It's time to go home. I need a frosty beverage in my life. Somehow they're getting worse, the valve covers. All right, that is a wrap. They are painted. I'm so excited. I almost bailed on painting the valve cover and this actually. So I'm so happy we did it. Got that doohickey, this doohickeys. Man, it's gonna be all matching and shiny up in there. There's gonna be chrome in there. Charles, we're gonna have a hot rod school bus. Small block Chevy is tucked away for the night. Oh, is that fueling? I gotta pick up the fuel line. It's leaking all over my towel. I need that to bathe with tomorrow. Super happy with our progress. Just a few hours and we are pot committed. This is happening whether we want it to or not. Excuse me, I'm eating my popsicle. I thought I was about to fall down earlier. It's so spicy on my teeth. All right. So we need to mount our regulator somewhere. I'm not even sure how the fuel lines are ran. I was thinking they were gonna come up on the passenger side, so I was just gonna add it there, but I don't know. I need to see how much AN line I have also. That is probably gonna be a big factor in placement. Fun stuff. This thing is hard to work on, by the way. It is so huge and it's not lowered at all. So I had to hike up the back there just so I could reach the firewall. I got to get my belly up here on the latch. Poked me in the belly button like twice today. All right, good morning everybody. We are back. It is the very next day and everything's been drying for just about 14 hours or so. 14, 6, I don't know, more than 12 hours. So it's looking pretty good, especially the intake. The intake came out nice. It's, I mean, perfect. I love it. The tape lines aren't perfect, but we knew that when we razor bladed them. They're going to be covered up anyway, or these two will. Hopefully the made in USA one is perfect, but we will soon find out. All right, so we're going to get the paint booth rig down, clean up some of this mess, get mom's truck pulled forward, have more room to work, and then we will jump right into the bourbon, hopefully in 5 minutes. It is warm. It warmed up pretty quick today, didn't it, Charles? What's going on? What's going on, huh? What's going on? All right, so we're gonna dig right into the bottom, find the fuel lines, see how they're routed. All right, so it is actually some, there's some fittings right here, and it goes to a braided line, or 2 braided lines that go up, and they're pressed onto that hard line. So I should be able to take these fittings out right here, or disconnect these 2 fittings right here, and remove those hard lines. And hopefully I pre-planned this and I have the right fittings that will screw right onto those bad boys. Man. All right, so it is indeed this metric adapter fuel line fitting, whatever it's called. Sort of like an O-ring boss, but it's got like a tapered deal and a flared end. I think it's called metric adapter or something, I don't know. But anyway, we can't find this anywhere locally. We're not gonna be able to. They don't stock Speed parts around here. We're gonna hack it right here and then stick a EFI style hose clamp like so, a little bit bigger than this one here, and then that will have us converted to AN. And once we get past this point, then it'll all be brand new, so it'll be easy to finagle it together. I'm gonna hack it straight just to make them match. It had like a little S-curve deal. So we're gonna butt this up here, put a EFI hose clamp here. This is basically just a high pressure. It's like a band style instead of the, what do they call it, worm screw or whatever. All right, so we got our fuel line ran with the braided hose onto that little flared end, and I had both of them all up in here and pretty. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be able to mount it on the fender, woo! And then I grabbed the regulator and realized I bought a returnless regulator. So I pulled off the return hose and just crimped over that metal end that we had flared. I folded it over just to plug it off. And so now we're gonna have a returnless style fuel system, which was not the plan, but it'll work. It's only regulating it down a few PSI to 5 PSI. So it'll be fine. It's not ideal, but it's not a big deal either. So anyway, we have returnless style, which is, you know, carb friendly. So, all right, so this is the fuel system. We mounted it here, kind of inconspicuous, just hanging out with all the rest of the crap in here. Single line, I have to route that a little better down there. So on a normal small block Chevy, the heads are all drilled at this angle here. On these TBI motors, it's like so. So we're just gonna hog out the bolts, the holes on the intake, and it'll sit in at a little bit different of an angle, and it'll be good enough.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with the...
So this is the angle. You know, that's as far as you can pull it up. And then, so these were about like that, and now they're like this. So hopefully it's not too far outboard of the holes. We'll have to test fit it, you know. And if it is, then we'll have to flip it over and go in there with a carbide and shave this backside that way. But anyway, pretty easy stuff. such a small project, we have really made a mess in the shop. I mean, the best part is how much of this is trash that came off of the motor. Some of this stuff here and all of that. To be, look how many different, I mean, what even is all that crap? To be replaced with that, and an intake. Easy peasy. Test fit number 3. Boom. And go boom. All right, cool. So let's take it off, get our gaskets on there, get some goop on the china walls, and plop it on for good.
I need my privacy, I need some silence. Please, you're all too loud, you don't speak quietly. Opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous, it's the world honestly.
We got most of the goodies back on, all the painted ones anyway. I fogged the bolts, I wire wheeled them and just fogged them with some black and then hit it with a little propane torch, so they're definitely still wet. So they're just kind of sitting there for now. I want to stab the distributor, but I completely fumbled and did not put it at top dead center. I didn't even look where the rotor was pointing on that other distributor thingy. So I'm gonna have to find top dead center. But before that, I'm gonna put my carb on and connect my fuel system. That way I could spin it over with the key because I'm being lazy. So I wanna do some more glory work and put the carb on and the spacer and connect my fuel system. And that might be it for the day because this fuel line is leaking. The one we did this morning. I knew that flare fitting was gonna be too sharp. I bet that's what it is. Boom again. And the ultimate boom. Look at that. What a unit. Uh-oh. Oof. That's not ideal. I don't care. I'm not worried about that right now. I just want to cry. Da-dum. Look at that unit. That is so much better. I can hear it already. Now I got the fuel line fixed. We turned this around last night. It's going backwards. It looks kind of funny, but it's not that big of a deal. So it's going backwards and loops around to our regulator here. Right now we are trying to wire up our distributor. We have our little Amazon heat gun, soldering gun deal. We're gonna heat that heat shrink up, have that repaired, put a terminal on it, a little spade terminal on it, and that's gonna be our 12 volt for that. Then we need to locate our fuel pump switch. So once we get that wire found and located, we will chop it, put a spade bit on it, and that'll power our fuel pump. All right, we got the plug wires ran. They are not pretty right now, but they are doing the spark plug thing. So we're gonna call that good. I'm gonna lower the back of the truck because it's hiked up pretty high right there, just so I could access everything a little better. We're gonna lower this down and hit the key and see if we can check for fuel pressure. All right, we got her lowered. Let's see. Should just be able to hit the key and it'll prime. It looks like as I'm screwing it down, the pressure is going down, so that's good. That is exactly what we want it to do. You know, if you just read the instructions, things go different. We got some fuel there. Let's see if it'll run. Look at that, man! It is literally already running better than it did. That is hilarious. TBI, what? The thermostat housing from the old unit, it's gonna work better with our radiator hose. We cleaned it up a little bit and we're just gonna do this. Make it look a little better. And because we wanna install it immediately, we are going to do this little trick here. We were just gonna bake it on real quick. Of course, it's been steaming hot all day. And as soon as we want to go for a little quick rip around the parking lot, it starts raining. This is every day here. And then in 5 minutes, it's going to be so humid and, well, maybe an hour or two. We are about to put it to its limits right now. First gear on the floor. It's an actual vehicle now. I'm so excited. And the vacuum advance isn't even hooked up, so like it wasn't even getting all the HPs when I was on the floor. It needs some tuning a little bit, and you know, it needs to be finished also. Yo, we are back and we are mostly done. We got choke wired up, we got vacuum lines ran, booster line ran. We got one air breather on. Of course, they didn't have two in stock, so we do need another one back there. We got our TV cable hooked up with this fancy little bracket. It's a piece of carburetor linkage that we just cut and drilled the hole big enough for the little detent deal, the little nipple shaws for the thing. And then we got some new springs on there. They're much tighter and happier, so it actually isn't idling like crazy. We chopped some of the wiring out, but as you can see, there's still a lot there. And we tried to make it look decent. The spark plug wires still need to be straightened and prettied up. There's a lot of cosmetic stuff that still needs to happen. And the ECU, actually, we need to, let's see. I think it's behind the glove box, but I haven't even. Let's see, how do you work? There you go. Boom. Where is it? Maybe it's not. Oh yeah, look, there it is. The little shiny silver dude. So we need to get that out, and then all the wires going to it. So we got oil, we got fuel pressures, we got electricity. Let's go for a little drive, see how she runs. Because I'm ready to start making this thing look good. Because after we painted it, we just kind of hit the big spots with the DA sander. But I still need to come in and like connect all the dots to give it that nice patina look. And the other, we got to get the rubbers and all changed too. You know, that's why there's like overspray on these old draw ones. We knew we were going to change them. They're actually sitting over yonder in a box. So let's go for a drive and see if we can't have some excitement on the end of this episode. Maybe we'll break down and catch on fire or something. Let's go. Come on, buddy. Hold on to your britches, Mr. Charles. We are charging. Oil temp is good. We do not have our temperature, coolant temperature sensor hooked up. A new car. I love it. Got to get these window seals changed. phone speedo. Doing 51 right now. 49. Got up to 69 before I let off. Awesome. This thing is fixed. Smell a little oil. Could be coming from where that breather's not there. Oh my, I can actually pull out into traffic. It's crazy. Usual day, cruising around on my square body Bourbon, doing the speed limit and stuff. My throttle spring feels a little tight. It's kind of hard to press the throttle. It might actually get loosened up, you know, more driven, especially if I keep flooring it everywhere. That is it for episode 2 of HodgeRods Speed Shoppe. We got that TBI off and on the floor where it's supposed to be. We got a carb on there. We got some painting done, some plumbing, some wiring, some unwiring. That's a wrap.